The lights dim in the packed stadium as the crowd erupts in anticipation. It's halftime at the Super Bowl, the most watched event in the world. Over 70,000 fans pulse with excitement, and millions of eyes are glued to screens across the globe. All attention zeroes in on the center of the field. It's not just another halftime performance. Tonight is something different. Tonight is art, culture, and revolution in movement. Tonight, Kendrick Lamar takes the stage. The drums kick in first. A booming bass shakes the air as the crowd roars even louder. In the center of the field stands an intricate set designed with purpose. A sprawling urban landscape inspired by Kendrick's hometown of Compton, California. Out of the shadows he emerges, draped in a jet black suit with sharp tailoring and subtle symbolic detailing, a crown of thorns seemingly etched into the fabric of his shoulders. Kendrick emanates a radiant combination of confidence, focus, and purpose. He holds the mic close, surveys the crowd for one electrifying second, and utters the first words of his Super Bowl halftime debut. All right. The audience erupts. The opening line of his game-changing hit, All Right, reverberates throughout. A gospel choir-inspired backup hum builds behind him as his voice climbs steadily. Kendrick's energy commands an entire stadium, his rapid-fire delivery as sharp and powerful as ever. With every word, he transforms the NFL stage into a showcase of black excellence, resilience, and artistry unparalleled. Dancers dressed in uniforms of modern streetwear flood the stage, moving in unison like the lifeblood of a city. The choreography seems as much a celebration as a protest, calculated yet full of kinetic chaos. The beat transitions seamlessly into DNA, and suddenly the energy ignites to a new level. The set trembles with lightning visuals and pulsating strobe lights as Kendrick stands atop a raised platform, gripping the mic with both hands. "I got royalty inside my DNA," he spits, emphasizing every word as though it's a battle cry. Hypnotic visuals flash across the stadium screens. DNA strands intertwine with historic photographs of protests, leaders, and freedom marches. Each frame seems to carry a layer of deeper meaning, as though Kendrick isn't just performing, he's preaching. But then, a moment of stillness. The entire set turns to darkness except for a glowing spotlight on Kendrick. He stands perfectly still in front of a massive wall, now illuminated with a phrase written in bold letters, "We gon' be all right." A brief silence falls over the crowd, and the poignancy is tangible. With powerful yet haunting delivery, he leads into a snippet of "Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst," a reflection that slows the tempo and cuts deep into the soul of anyone who hears it. The audience, once roaring and clapping, now finds itself caught in an emotional revelation. The stage changes again. No, it transforms. A large, rotating structure rises from the center. On its sides, projections of fragmented mirrors flash scenes of both celebration and hardship, a montage capturing Kendrick's dualities. Then, the unmistakable piano keys of Humble send a shockwave through the stadium. The crowd jumps to their feet as Kendrick takes front and center. "Sit down, be humble," he fires repeatedly, with a sly grin that's both provoking and commanding. His delivery is razor-sharp, yet somehow playful, almost daring anyone watching to challenge the unapologetic audacity of his genius. He owns every glance, every camera angle, with a mastery reserved for legends. Then, the collaboration fans had been speculating about for weeks. The background music fades into silence for just a split second before an explosion of brass leads into King Kunta. A massive brass ensemble arrives on screen, joining him live in a nod to West Coast funk and its heavy influence on Kendrick's sound. The air becomes electric as dancers break into steps that bridge decades of time, paying homage to 70s soul music and Afrofuturism in their sleek, timeless attire. It would be enough to end there, but that's not Kendrick. He doesn't end on spectacle, he ends on substance. As Kendrick finishes the first verse of King Kunta, the energy shifts. The stage becomes dimmer. At its heart, a single glowing cube pulsing like a heartbeat. Kendrick strolls toward it, a quiet determination taking over his movement. He touches the cube, and once he does, archival footage splashes across the screens. These aren't just random images, but moments of Black history, spanning everything from sports to politics to everyday life. The footage flows seamlessly into images of Kendrick's own career, his early music videos, his Pulitzer-winning Damn era, and moments of him marching in protests. As the haunting intro of The Heart Part 5 begins, Kendrick stands alone in that spotlight again. Delivered a cappella, the song feels raw and deeply personal. His voice trembles with emotion as he touches on loss, tragedy, perseverance, and community. For the grandest stage in the world, this is as intimate as it gets. And when Lamar utters his final lines, standing defiantly under the glaring Super Bowl lights, it feels less like an ending and more like the closing of one chapter, setting the stage for whatever comes next. The camera pans out. Glimpses of the crowd show people both standing and wiping their eyes. This wasn't just a halftime show. This was a cultural milestone, transforming expectations of what entertainment could and should accomplish. It was cerebral, fiery, and introspective all at once. Social media erupts minutes later. Kendrick did that. The greatest halftime show of all time. I learned more in those 13 minutes than I have in a year. Critics praise his bravery in tackling systemic issues on such a mainstream global platform, while still finding a way to thrill and mesmerize audiences. As the night winds down and the world starts to settle again, the echoes of Kendrick's performance linger. Fans know this was more than a collection of songs. It was a thesis statement. It was about legacy, understanding where one comes from, and never forgetting it. It was about telling stories that are bigger than the person telling them, about showing how much one life, one voice matters in the grander scheme. In true Kendrick Lamar fashion, his Super Bowl halftime show wasn't just a performance. It was a reminder to stay grounded, to remain vigilant, and to always, always embrace the power of storytelling. As the credits rolled on the most watched event of the year, it was clear the message had been received. And for generations to come, people will look back on this night and say, that's how you use a platform.